back to another episode of World of Tanks with Gaining Titan, and we're on Prokhrovoka and the FE4202P, the Tier 8 British Premium Medium Tank. Games from a couple of weeks ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and Prokhrovoka. At least it's a tank that's suitable to Prokhrovoka, Tier 9 game. Yesterday on my stream, I actually went with World of Tanks yesterday because I just saw a video where Mighty Jingles had a video yesterday morning featuring a KV2, and I thought I'd pull out my KV2 Dreadnought. I got Prokhrovoka several times. In other places as well, didn't have any really great games, but that's the way it goes sometimes. That's just the way things pan out. You have days where you have things go really well, and you have other days where things just don't go so well. You gotta learn, as my father used to say, to take the rough with the smooth. We have a light tank. So this tank is ideal for, in many ways, prowling the ridgeline of Prokhrovoka. You got a reasonably rugged tank, good mobile tank as well, forward and reverse. So you can be a little more daring. You can go up a little higher and rely on the mobility of the tank, as long as you're not advertising yourself or doing things into too much of a pattern. And ideally let the spotting sixth sense go away, so you're not spotted when you actually peek the ridgeline. That E75 gets away with it for the game, but he sticks to that spot and just pokes up and down there, relying on the rock to protect him from artillery. And I wouldn't. Well, depending on the artillery, of course, but I wouldn't be certain enough that the artillery wouldn't move to a spot where the rock would be negated. But he got away with it. So we have the light tanks taking a bit of a hit there, showing too much tank, and that's the thing. People sometimes lose patience and start to push, and this guy's inclined to push, and it cost him. So I managed to get the hit in there. I was quite lucky to get the hit in there, but there were a lot of tanks down behind him as well, and all of them could have gotten the hit in as well. So we have an IS-3 auto up on the hill. And this is another thing about this map, is this central position here especially. You can often get line of sight onto the tanks going up the hill and get sight shots onto them, and they don't necessarily see you back. Now we have a situation here where the light tank has decided to come in and play ring-a-ring-a-rosy around the heavy tank, but the thing is, it's too early, it's too premature, there are too many tanks around for him to get away with it. So I managed to get a tracking shot onto him, and that cooked his goose, so to speak. He was completely annihilated. I'm now too close to the railway to shoot the IS-3 auto. However, the E75 and the Craft Panther can shoot it. So it's time I pull back and get out of here again and actually just resume my patrol back across the base of the ridgeline, and the occasional foray up on top to see if I can spot anybody fresh. Partly you want to be spotted just that people know you're here, and you sort of ideally want to lure them across so they get into position to shoot you. That T-54 has shown a little too much tank and got tracked for their troubles and just took a real pounding. Now I took a shot there because I was engaging with the T-54, so I exposed myself a little bit, but at the same time the guy that shot me, okay, he didn't take any damage, but he had to come out a long way to do it. And here's the T-54E1 doing exactly the same thing again, just overexposing the tank, which is why we're 3 tanks up and they're not, because they're pushing, they're trying to force a conclusion here, whereas really the battle on Prokhrovoka goes to the side of the most patience and the most discipline. Like them. The important thing is that A, the ridgeline is patrolled, and B, that the tanks at the back are actually in a position to shoot. Sometimes I've seen in the situation where the ridgeline was patrolled and the problem was that the tanks at the back were actually too far back and not in a position to engage, Now this would be more a thing for lower tiers, because this is a relatively high tier game. Even tanks right at the very back of the map are probably in a position to engage tanks that crest the ridgeline. And then you see, once the losses start building up, it just starts to snowball. It's very much a battlefield where things can quite easily snowball. In fact, if we had had fewer probably tank destroyers, we'd be pushing the one line already, and the enemy would be folding up quite strongly in that position or that location. However, it's very strongly in our favour at this point. The enemy are running out of options. Okay, the T-26 has probably got some support behind them. Missed with that round, but he gets taken out now. Essentially, there's nobody around the front line. So, what to do? We're already starting to push along the one line. There's the T-44s after appearing. It's not a bad place, I suppose, to be. The T-75 is crossing the ridgeline, and I've decided, well, a T-95, okay, don't want to be in front of a T-95. We've spotted something for the back of T-28 prototypes, so I've picked out the enemy tank destroyers and the enemy artillery, and it's just keep moving, get out of the line of sight, get down into the low ground around this side. Then I got tracked by the T-28. Now I have a good crew on this tank. And I get tracked again by the T-28, so this time I'm going to use the repair kit, because I don't want to get slapped a third time by the T-28. Or an ISU-152, or 130 either. They're just very big guns, and I just want to get down into a bit lower ground where I can use the gun depression of the tank and the ridgeline. I haven't managed to damage my gun, but there's only 2 of them left. And at this stage, we're just trying to get as much damage as we can. Like, I mean, we've done over 3k assisted damage, which is, you know, kind of how you win this game. If you're getting the assistance damage, that's the key thing. If you're running the ridgeline and you're not getting assisted damage, then you're probably on the team that's going to lose. Bounce that shot. Whereas if you're running the ridgeline and peeking and detecting enemies, and you are getting assisted damage, then it's all to play for in your team. So we finished up with nearly, what, 5k total combined damage, which is pretty good. I mean, it's a tier 8 tank. And now we see it, first class mastery, Confederates, so almost 2k damage, over 3k assisted damage. And there we have it. So we came number 1 by experience. A lot of shots fired relative to penetration, but that's the name of the game on Prokhrovoka, because you're always going to be taking chancy snapshots at the start of the game. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.